Sky Squad, we are back in the building. It's your boy DJRichieSkye, and we got to talk some news about Real Housewives of the Atlanta. Now, you guys know that Kandi is on the promotional trail for Kandi and the Gang, which just started this past Sunday. Okay. Now, we also know that the Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to follow right on up with that. Okay. Based on reports, again, we're hearing May 1st, but again, we could be wrong because all commentary is alleged. Okay. So, anyway, let's get into what Kandi had to say about the Real Housewives of Atlanta without Cynthia and PORSHA. Now, this is taken from Housewives Nightcap, and we also got a story from Us Weekly where Kandi Burruss says Real Housewives of Atlanta is way better without Cynthia Bailey and PORSHA Williams. No diss to them, okay? So she says to Us Weekly, when we got ready to start the season, I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, okay, we're losing two peaches that are very important to the franchise. How's that gonna go? Okay. But she tells the Getting Real with the Housewives podcast, but let me tell you, no diss to them. This season is going to be way better than the last few. I would say it's really, really a good season, and I'm excited for people to watch. She says, this season was stressful to me with the whole argument with Marlo. We were saying things that were very below the belt at each other, and we were throwing some really low blows. Okay. Now, we had heard about this Marlo situation before. Okay. We talked about it. We had speculated that Kandi, when she said she got into it really bad with somebody, we had speculated that it was Marlo. Comes out that it is Marlo, but we do know that they are in a better place, as evidenced by Kandi's Instagram. And we see her wishing happy birthday to Marlo. We see, people, Marlo saying thank you. We even see, interestingly enough, we see Ralph Pittman Jr., who is Drew Sidora's husband, saying happy birthday to Marlo as well, leading me to believe that at least Drew and Marlo are in a good place, maybe. We'll just have to wait and see, okay? Now, getting back to what Kandi had to say on the Housewives Nightcap, we're going to get into a couple of notes that we got from her that I found to be very interesting. Now, she also tells Housewives Nightcap, and I'm reading from my notes here, that Housewives did not skip a beat without PORSHA and Cynthia. She was worried about it going in, similar to what she had to say in the Us Weekly article. But she also says, shout out to the executive producer this year. He didn't allow anyone to skate through, and he made sure everyone was open and talking about what was actually going on in their lives. Now, I got to tell y'all, I remember talking with Carlos King and him indicating something about that as well. How, he really, gets in there with the cast, and you have to sometimes pull things out of your cast. And I've heard Carlos King say that, when he worked with them, sometimes they wanted to curse him out because he really wanted to pull out the best from them. And I got to tell you guys the truth. Reality TV shows work the best when the cast give their all, especially when they trust the producer or when the producer pulls out from them their real life story. When they drop their guard and they just start living and start being and start giving their real truth, that is when a show really, really thrives. Okay. It really, really is. I think that's one of the reasons why people love Married to Medicine. I feel like there are some people on there that just give us their story. I think Dr. Contessa was a good example of that, particularly last season. I don't know that she wanted to give as much as she gave, because I think that she was just so. I think it may have come from maybe military training to just kind of be strong and maybe even her upbringing. But I do feel like we still got a lot of story from her because she was willing to sort of submit to the process, no matter how it looked. Okay. Now, getting back to what Kandi had to say. She says again, she says her girl Marlo and her bumped heads really bad on the trip. So now we know confirmation that whenever they had their big blow up happened on the Cash trip. So I'm assuming this happened at the end of the season. Okay. She says they have come back together, which we already knew. She did say Marlo came with it. She says she got a peach and she started throwing them at people. Well, we probably know that one of those people might have been Kenya Mo. Okay. And when you go from friend of to main cast, you better bring it. Okay. You best to bring it, and you best to let the network know that they're getting what they paid for. Okay. And Marlo, let me tell you something. Marlo, since she has been on this show, has been really delivering. Whether you liked what she was doing or not, I mean, she gets in there. Okay. She gets all the way up in there. Okay. Kandi also says that we're going to meet Marlo's mom. And she also says that Sheree really brings it as well. And she says, I don't know why they keep playing with Sheree. I can tell you why they keep playing with Sheree, because sometimes I feel like Sheree will be in it, okay? And sometimes she'll just be the bone collector, and that's about it, right? And again, we really need story to drive the show. Story is different from storyline, okay? Opening up yourself and giving the producers what they need from you and telling them your story is different from a storyline, which can sometimes come across as a preconceived plan to tell a specific story. Having story is just basically opening up your life and sharing your personal story, which is different. Okay, I just want to let me know if I'm clear on that in the chat, and I will explain further if I'm not. Okay, because I think a lot of you get it and some people don't. All right, based on previous comments. All right, so anyway, she does say that Sheree brings it and had a lot going on in her personal life, and she really shares. And see, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what viewers need, and that's the thing that will keep you on a show like this. She says this, and she said this in a couple of different interviews, I believe. She says everyone made more of an effort to build real relationships, which is very interesting to me because that tells me that maybe some people from previous seasons weren't really that invested in building real relationships and friendships with each other. So that's very interesting as well. She also says that this season is definitely much better than last season. Okay. Echoing what she has said in the Us Weekly article as well. Okay. So again, I will place both of these links down in the description link down below. The interview with Housewives Nightcap is really, really good. She's done interviews with them in the past. And the Us Weekly article is pretty good as well. So I will place both of those links down in the description down below. Let me know if you are excited about Real Housewives of Atlanta without Kandi and without Cynthia Bailey. Let us know how you feel. Again, I'm almost kind of wishing that Cynthia Bailey was coming back now that she got this whole thing going on with Kenya Moore. Oh, and fun news that I forgot to mention. If you guys follow Latoya Forever on YouTube, you will see that one of her most recent uploads is a video called No More Beef, in which she is pictured with Drew Sidora, who she infamously beefed with on The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13. Okay. And they beefed even in the reunion. There was so much going on with the two of them last season. And I don't know, they just never really hit it off on a good foot. However, we have Latoya Forever in a vlog where she actually goes to the Kandi and the Gang premiere party event at OLG in Atlanta, and she runs into Drew Sidora, and she actually takes a, I guess, video with her, or maybe a photo or something like that. And she does go on to say later on in the video that while they did beef during their season, she says that the two of them are all good now, and everything is water under the bridge. She's in a different space in her life, and they are down to actually hanging out, I think is what she said in the video as well. But definitely go visit Latoya Forever's YouTube page to find out more and actually see that video. She does a whole lot. I mean, a lot of people felt a lot of different types of ways about Latoya Forever, but what I will say is that it did not stop her bad, and it did not stop her brand on YouTube, because Homegirl just literally, I mean, she kept going. And that was the smart thing to do. There was a smart play. She didn't put all of her eggs in the reality TV basket, but I did want to give you guys that bit of news. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next video.